Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, JRose. Thanks so much for tuning into the JRose Experience. We have an amazing episode for you guys today. We invited Tawana Coleman and Crystal Rosa to come through and talk to us about the good and the bad of social media. So you already know how that went. We also had some fun making some really tough decisions with One Gotta Go during our Off the Top segment. So make sure you stick around to keep growing. The JRose Experience. I'm your host, JRose. We out here in Philly meeting some really dope creatives, poets, visual artists, actors, all that good stuff. I am here with my first guest of today's episode. She is an aspiring actress and dancer out here in Philadelphia. Please welcome my guest, Crystal Rosa. Yay!
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to have you on the show because we usually have poets on the show. But when I heard that you're an actress and that you could do like monologues and you're a dancer, I was like, oh, this is a nice little sprinkle. Yeah, the plot thickens on the JRose Experience. So thank you so much for joining me today. I want to dig right into your career as an actress. Yeah. I was reading your bio and I remember reading something saying that you landed your first gig while you were in high school.
Yeah, well, my college.
College.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So, first of all, what was that experience like to land your first gig, like the whole auditioning, and what was that role that you landed?
Yeah, so my career of like going into acting in college was all very, very new to me, and my experience of trying to get into shows in school was a bit difficult, and I didn't feel like they had a spot for me, no matter how much work I put into it.
Why do you think that was happening?
I think it was a lot of like thick girls don't really get a lot of roles. They always had their favorites. I mean, that's kind of the main story behind high school or college like theater scenes. So it was kind of like, don't feel like the same. But one of the professors sent out like a casting call from like their alumni, and I was like, and it talked about like a Latino run theater company, and I was like, okay,
here for it,
right? So I was like, okay, let me try it. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we'll figure it out. They sent me the sides, and I went in, and I remember I was probably too overly dressed, and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
She's like, I got my blazer.
Right. Like, it's a whole interview, but it's like, no, just come as yourself. But it was really cool, and honestly, I thought I like trashed it. I was like, I don't think so. I saw other ladies there, and they feel like they were more convincing. But eventually they called me. They're like, hey, we want you to, play the daughter of the main character. And I was like,
oh my god.
Okay, great. So I did get it. Oh my god. I was so excited. I was very stressed during the process of like finishing my last year of college. Yeah. And then also like being in rehearsals every night. And
oh my gosh, what is that like? Because I've been to I love theater. Like I've gone to dozens of Broadway shows, and like I always wonder how vigorous is that process to actually learn your lines, learn your cues. Like, what is that like?
Yeah, it's a whole nother world. Because it's more of like really analyzing the script. It's really deeper than the words that are on the page itself.
Yeah.
So it's really navigating what is that like. And what I really loved about the rehearsal experience was that we had even improv moments of like,
oh cool,
what if these two characters, like what if it was switched around and like the mom did know who the daughter was and the daughter didn't know who the mom was, what would that be like? And I was like, and we got to really explore the characters outside of the script, and it was so good and beautiful at the same time. And then also experiencing that majority of the cast and crew were all women and women of color.
Ooh.
It was just like, wow, the fact that this was my first gig outside of school, and like it was just so beautiful. I'll never trade it in the world, even though I had a lot going on at school and a lot going on during rehearsals, but it was all worth it.
So you mentioned that you felt like you didn't really like fit in when you were in high school. So what is something that you think the theater industry is lacking right now?
So much. So one more, like, they definitely do more Eurocentric type of stories, and they're the classics, and they kind of stick to it because that's what brings in the money.
Yeah.
And it's more so, it's like, really please like bring in the new. There's so much new art, new stories to show and share, and everyone can relate to in some shape or form. That it needs to be brought out, and those older shows can retire, they can go away.
So how do you think that you can impact that change in the theater industry?
Well, so that theater company, I ended up working for them now. So to also get a better idea of how to make that bigger impact, because I saw that, their name is Power Street. So Power Street was definitely...
Shout out to Power Street.
Yeah, man. Powerstreet.com. Powerstreettheater.com. There you go.
She's so cute.
But, like, they're doing the work of... they're based within North Philadelphia, so they bring in the community to their shows. They have talkbacks. They encourage people to, like, come in. Let's learn how to write a scene. Let's do that. Let's talk about acting. Like, it's not just for the kids and, like, the students. Like, it's for everyone. So let's do that.
That's really cool.
It's really welcoming. And even, like, for when I did their show, Las Mujeres, they actually had talkbacks to really have, like, the audience dig deeper into, like, the themes of the show. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. So to have theater is always, like, meant for, like, the elite. Yeah. But it's like, it's really not.
They make it sound like it's fancy, like you have to have a lot of money to go to shows.
Right, you have to dress up a certain way. Yeah. And it's like, no, it's enjoyed by everybody. Yeah. And, like, that experience was like, oh, yeah, like, this is what I really like. Yeah. It's not just, like, a great round of applause and great. It's like, no, like, that connection is really what makes theater so real. So, like, absolutely. Yeah, doing that work with Power Street has definitely helped.
What's one of your favorite, like, Broadway shows that you've heard of or you've seen or whatever?
My favorite, which definitely got me into more of the theater scene, was In the Heights.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because it blended in my love for dance and theater at the same time. And at that time, I was just dancing. Yeah. But seeing that there was, like, hip-hop dancing within it, and they had, like, salsa music in it, I was like, oh my god, can I be part of this world too? Like, I didn't know that, but now I can. Oh my god. Like, it was so exciting. So from there, that really, like, sparked my interest of, like, let's figure out more of this so I can have fun.
How do you balance your love for theater and your love for dancing?
It always goes back and forth. My first love was dancing, always has been. But from, like, high school, that being part of, like, the dance team, it brought me into the musical theater world, because they'll be like, hey, we need dancers. Can you do this? And I'm like, musical theater is cool, it's a whole nother world. But I was like, sure. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. But it just worked out. The more of, like, the rehearsals, then everything just, like, clicked. And I was like, okay, this is fun. Just as fun. It's just back and forth balancing. I'll, like, take some dance classes and then take some acting classes. All right,
so you're constantly filling into both buckets. Yeah. That's great. What would your, like, dream role be? Like, what would be, like, oh my gosh, I made it?
Well, if I could be able to write my own show and then star in it, that would be dope. Yes. But for something that's already written, my favorite show is called La Gringa. More so because, it's about a girl grew up in, like, New York, and then goes to the island for the first time to meet her family. And I'm like, oh my god, everyone calls me La Gringa, like, in my family.
So you connect with that.
Yes, like, her excitement to see just, like, the trees and talking about the smell of nature. It's like, yes, I know. Like, it's so exciting. And probably everyone over there is like, okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is every day.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I can definitely relate to her. I mean, her excitement is probably a bit more exaggerated than mine, but
it's acting.
Like, it's like I can connect to that so much of, like, the joys of learning about my culture and my community.
Did you find yourself to be, like, dramatic as a child?
Yeah. Yes, very much so. Actually, recently, one of my brothers, he told me that when I was, like, an infant, that if someone just, like, yelled a little bit too loud, I'll just look at them and then just start crying, thinking that it was, like, to me or something.
Oh my gosh. So you've been extra.
Always. Always. I remember growing up, I would have my neighbors come to like my backyard and we'll like do dance shows. And we would like make it work, have these whole parties, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And I'll like choreograph them with him, and it was like a whole show. For who? Nobody. But, like, it was justified to me. I'm like, this is great. We're doing great rehearsal, everybody.
Cool. Okay. Who would you love? Like, what actor would be like the amazing for you to like work with?
I would definitely say Viola Davis. I'm almost done watching How to Get Away with Murder, and my actor brain when I'm watching her is like,
she's
God.
I know. How does she do it? Like,
it's me every time I'm watching. I'm like,
can you cry on the spot like that? Like,
oh my God,
how hard is that?
I don't know. it varies. I would say sometimes the tears can come, but it's like depends on how much work you put in beforehand to really put yourself in that person's shoes.
Space,
And like if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, that feeling is still there. But when the tears do come, it's like a nice little cherry on top. Like, yeah, that's right. Watch it go down.
You're like, as it goes down, you're like, yes.
Yeah, that's some real sadness right
there. Yeah. What are your, I'm a big shoe fanatic. I love shoes, right? So what would be like your favorite pair of shoes to go to an audition with?
Ooh. So I remember it was always like, I learned from my classes, like something that you could be very comfortable and move around in. Not in these, but these are really great. I do love these though.
Those are cute.
But I would say my preference really would be barefoot.
Barefoot.
Which sounds crazy. It's like definitely not a shoe, but I guess the closest would be a flat.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, something that like to be more connected and more grounded. It sounds so cheesy. But
I feel you.
Right, like just more grounded so I can like really get into it, and then also if I have to run around, sure, why not?
Yeah, for like the role for the audition.
Right.
Do they make you do like weird shit sometimes?
Yes. Sometimes you're like, I don't see how this pertains to the script. But sure.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go for it. I'll say yes and. Like, okay.
Yes and.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love that exercise. So I know you prepared a monologue for us. Do you mind sharing it?
Yeah. So it's from my favorite show, La Gringa.
Yes.
For the main role or main character, Maria. And this was after her first trip with her cousin, visiting basically like the main touristy parts of Puerto Rico, and how it's like changed her life way more than what her cousin is just like saying. Okay, like it was a long trip, and I made her take a bunch of pictures of me at every single spot at different angles because I'm so excited about everything in the world of Puerto Rico. And so I'm just even more excited of how like it has changed me on the inside, and now I'm just like, I think I should stay here. Yes. I'm gonna throw away my life from New York, everything in the past. Like, it's okay. I can always
start over. Call
people if they miss me, but this is where I feel like I should be.
Ooh, awesome. So, I can't wait to see it. Stay tuned. We'll be back with a performance from Crystal Rosa.
Mommy and Papi wanted me to go to Europe. They felt a trip to Europe would make me a well-rounded person. I felt it was more important to visit my country, connect with my ancestors, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my family. Mommy's always talking about Puerto Rico, and I wanted to see it for myself. I have the rest of my life to see the world. I dreamt of Puerto Rico for such a long time. El Moro was more than I expected. I felt a true sense of history. As I was walking around, I had this feeling of peace. As my feet touched the stones, it felt right. I was hypnotized by the sounds of the waves crashing against the fort's walls. I realized then that I had come home. All the sounds of the coquis, the smell of nature, the sun that burns your skin in one day, even the mosquito bites, all are signs of welcome. I can't go back to New York. This is my home. I'm staying in Puerto Rico.
I'm so excited I got both my kids' appointments to get their hair done at Shining Star Kids Salon in Brooklyn, New York. The best part is, I get to pick up a couple of my favorite natural hair products like their Fearless Edge Control, or their Fearless Hair Oil. And these are just some of my favorite products to style my hair with. Head over to ShiningstarKidsSalon.com to order from their line of natural products the whole family can enjoy. Or make an appointment if you're in town. Use code JRose20 at checkout for 20% off your online purchase. Keep growing. Hey, welcome back to the JRose Experience. I'm your host, J Rose. I'm here with my next guest, CEO of Speak Free Communications, Tawana Coleman. She's actually from Jersey, but she came to Philly to show some love. So please welcome. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm so happy to see you again. We met a year ago at the Women in Media Conference, which I thought was like such an amazing experience. I want to talk about like how did you get into being a part of the conference? Because it was a conference for just women. It was like a very women empowerment type of thing. I loved it. So how did you end up getting to be a part of that?
A few years prior, I had attended just as a guest.
Yeah.
And I said, I looked at Danielle and
Yes.
Kendra, and I said, oh my gosh, they're doing such a great job. And I knew they were young, and I'm like, wow, they put this together. And that one was actually right here down the street at Temple.
Okay.
And so I just kept following them like on social media.
Yeah.
And then eventually I reached out, I think a few times, and then eventually it just all came together that I was able to become a part of Women in Media.
What was some of the things that you were able to take away from the conference?
From the conference? Well, we had to work hard to get sponsorship. I'm sure you probably know something about that.
Yes.
So working to get sponsorship, kind of begging people for money to put it on. And then, also getting the talent. So, we had Yandy Smith.
Yes.
And a few other people. So, just kind of coordinating all of that and, having it come down to the last minute, okay, is everybody going to show up?
Oh my gosh.
Are they all going to be there? How many guests are going to be there?
I remember. And it was such a successful event.
Yeah, it turned out really great.
I know you felt happy. Now, I'm glad that we stayed connected because now look, here we are literally a year later because it was around this time, like this week,
like
last
November
year.
6th or something like that.
Yeah, and it was out there. Here we are a year later and I'm interviewing you. I was reading your bio and I saw that you went to Howard University.
Yes, HU.
Yes, that's something to be proud of. So, what was that experience like? Was Howard your first choice when you were trying to go to school?
I would say it was my first choice, but I didn't go there first. I went to Rutgers University in New Brunswick for my first year, for my freshman year, and then the next year I transferred to Howard.
Really? And what was it like going to Howard? What was that experience like?
It was great, but I was very timid, and
yeah,
I don't think I took full advantage of the university and DC.
Yeah.
Because I came from a large group of friends back at home, and nobody was there with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew a few people, but not my core group of people.
Yeah. So you're by yourself out there.
Yeah, but I mean, I love being in any. Well, I don't want to say any city. I love New York. That's my second home.
Yeah.
But it was interesting being in DC and just seeing so many Black people from across the diaspora of people.
Yes.
That was great, and to just see Black excellence every day. But it was kind of intimidating too.
Really?
You're like, oh, I'm not that smart.
Oh.
Or I'm not,
Yeah.
I mean, and there are people at all different economic levels there.
Yeah.
So you have celebrities' kids, and then I met a girl from Colorado who was out there with her baby.
Yeah.
Just living, and so it was just a very diverse experience.
Nice.
Yeah. So
what would you have done differently if you could go back?
Well, I would definitely join more organizations because there's anything and everything for you to be a part of there.
Absolutely.
From sororities to theatrical things. I mean, there's everything. Literally. Yeah. So my daughter's there now. So
oh, is she?
I'm trying to push her.
Aren't you a proud mom? Look at that.
She's a legacy.
Look at that.
And I'm trying to get my nephew to go too.
She's really pushing the whole family. Let's go.
Yeah, because it's really such a good experience. And the network of alumni that is connected to that university. Yeah. I mean, we have Kamala Harris now in
Absolutely.
office. Well, just about in office.
Almost. We're almost there.
So, I mean, it's just such a great legacy from entertainment people, which I'm more connected to politicians, doctors. I mean, it's just great.
Everything. Mm-hmm. Now, tell me more about your business, Speak Free Communications. What is it that you do? How do you help people in the music industry?
Mm-hmm. Speak Free Communications was born out of I worked in the music industry or the entertainment industry in different roles. And then I stopped working in the business and I began to teach, but I always wanted to stay connected to the industry. Yeah. Because it's always been my love since I was a kid. Yeah. And so in 2013, I had another business partner, but I didn't feel like my voice was being heard. I didn't feel like, and this had been a friend.
Yeah.
So I kind of said, enough is enough, and I'm going to name it Speak Free, so I can just be able to say what I want, and other people can kind of have that same thing too. If you kind of feel stifled, you should be able to speak free. And so basically it is a PR and events service boutique, I say.
Yeah.
So I give, I work as a consultant to help usually like smaller entities.
Yeah.
Bring awareness to their companies or their persona, their brand.
Yeah.
And, and if you need to plan an event, I'm more so the PR side of it. Like, I'm not going to decorate your event.
Yeah. She's like, I ain't putting up balloons.
Yeah,
but...
I'm not the event planner, but maybe the event architect.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it like that.
So you help, like, build the foundation of the event.
Yeah, like your concept. What do you want to see? What do you want to happen? What kind of talent do you want?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Develop, like, the vision for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really great because a lot of times as creatives, we have a vision for something, especially to do an event. And how many times have you had to kind of be like the reality check to your client?
And how many times don't clients listen to the reality check? Yeah, I mean, but I'm a dreamer too.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm that person. Like I always tease my cousin. She's more practical than me.
Yeah.
She's the budget person. I will help somebody keep the budget, but I'm like, we can do this and we can get this person and we can do all these great things as long as you have a budget.
Yeah.
So I want you to make it as big and as wonderful as your vision can take you or beyond. So but there are things that you have to be real about, like, are you being truthful about your demographic? All those different things come into play for the successful event to happen.
Yeah. What are some of the what's one of the biggest, I guess, mistakes that people do?
I think that people, and that's why I like the PR side of it, some people don't know how to bring awareness. Like, I had a client, she didn't really want to do commercials on the radio for her event, but if Philadelphia is not your hometown and you're not that well connected in the city, then you need publicity. And if it needs to be like on the radio at that time, then do that. But she didn't have enough advertisement. Yeah. She didn't want to put her money in that way.
Yeah. Is that something that like people should consider when they're like creating a budget? Is that like that marketing aspect of what they need?
Yeah, depending on how large your event is and who you're trying to market to, then I would definitely make that a part of the budget. You also worked in your like rap sheet. You had the opportunity to work with Bad Boy. What was that like, and how did you get an opportunity to work with a company like that? It wasn't for a very long time, but it was a great experience. So actually, Sean Combs has been through so many names.
I know. What's his name now?
I don't know.
Who knows?
But he was going through a name change. I think that's when he became P. Diddy when I was there. And so, I don't know what to call you. Yeah. But he actually had went to Howard University. And before I went. Yeah. So it was like, this is like somebody you look up to. Yeah. So my aunt worked for Bad Boy. And so she kind of, helped me to get an interview.
Oh, nice.
And so I worked from 6 at night to 2 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
On 48th and 9th.
In the city?
Yes.
In Manhattan, in New York?
Yes. So it was always fun to get off the train when everybody else was going home.
Oh, that's nice.
But it was great. It was exciting.
Were you like planning events with them?
No, I worked in the studio.
Oh, wow. What were you doing in the studio?
Just studio coordinator.
Nice.
So I saw different artists come in, like Busta Rhymes, Lil' Kim.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm a little, that was the 90s.
Yeah, I'm here. I would have been so starstruck.
Yeah, so it was great. But Puffy is the kind of person, like, everybody jumps when he says jump.
Absolutely.
I was so amazed, like, the first day I was there.
I saw the reality show.
I'm like, are they really, like, looking everywhere for his sunglasses?
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, so, it was great to be there. He's a hard worker. Yeah. He's that person that's going to come in. When we saw his truck, we're like, we're going to be here all night. Yeah. So, I got a good work ethic from him. Yeah. Yeah. That work ethic is huge.
I have like a weird question. I know you do you speak and you work with events, and I love shoes. I ask all my guests.
Yes.
What is like your go-to pair of shoes if you have like, if you have like a big event that you're gonna be at?
Do I have to work the event or am I at the event?
You're working the event.
She's
like,
it's fun. I'll try to dress up and wear like maybe more of a chunkier heel.
Yeah.
Or something with like some type of platform.
Yeah.
But if I'm just attending the event, and I call those Beyonce shoes.
Yeah, she's got her Beyonce shoes.
Because you're not walking too far. You could just wear a beautiful heel. So yeah.
So you like the heels.
I love shoes, but they
too.
hurt my feet.
They do, right? After a while, listen, child.
Yeah.
I have my 2-minute shoes, you know.
Right. Those are the Beyonce shoes.
I love it. All right, so thanks so much for hanging out with me for a little while. I'm gonna go and invite our other guests to come back on set so we can have a group discussion.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back. From the brand that redefines the chivalrous style of today's gents comes their exclusive Key to the City collection. I'm super hyped about this collection because no matter where we go with the JRose Experience, no matter what city we're in, I'm going to be able to rep for New York. And people are going to know where I'm from. Hit up Gent and Scholar to rep for your city, including keys to Atlanta, Chicago, DC, Houston, Los Angeles, Miami, New Orleans, Philly, St. Louis, and of course, New York. So head over to gentandscholarcode.com and use the discount code JRose10 for 10% off your purchase of $50 or more. Keep growing. Whether it's tax season, the holidays, or whatever falls in between, you want to make sure that you're being smart with your money. So go visit my girl, Queen Candace, at the Queen Blueprint to learn how to gain your financial freedom. You could get a personalized debt payoff plan, a full financial overview, and learn to repair your relationship with money. Smarter money moves are waiting for you at www.thequeenblueprint.com or call 877-387-BLUE. Use code JRose20 for 20% off of all our financial services. Hey, welcome back to the JRose Experience. I'm your host, JRose. I'm here with both my guests, Crystal Rosa and Tawana Coleman, and we're going to dig into social media. Is it good? Is it evil? What do we do with it? Ladies, what's your take on social media? How do you guys use it?
Well, now for myself, I try to use it just to market like my artistry. I would rather not put too much of my personal life on it. I've heard too many stories of how it can screw people up, so it's like,
yeah,
mind your business. You don't need to know that. Look at me dance and act. And
that's it.
Look at the cool stuff I'm doing behind the scenes, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah. And how about you? I know that you work with a lot of artists. What advice do you give them about their social media?
I feel definitely you should, like she said, you should limit it to just your artistry. You don't need to put all your personal information on there unless you want people in your business, because they will be in your business, and then you got to have the arguments online, and I think that could lead to a lot of negativity down the way. Yeah,
I'm not here for the trolls.
Right.
What are some of the good things that you use social media for?
Like we were talking about, I think you should use it to market yourself. Some people are a little hesitant, like, I don't need that. I can get referrals or people will just find me. But there's always somebody that's looking for hashtags. They're surfing hashtags, and they're always just looking to connect. As long as you understand how to use it as a tool and you're not just on there doing selfies, because if you really have a business, whether you're in the arts or you're you're an entrepreneur, as long as you are really, like I said, just setting it up properly, you have a schedule, you're using the hashtags, you are doing the highlight reel, basically. Yeah, so I think it can really help you. But some people don't get that.
Yeah. What's been kind of one of the challenging parts of like using social media to market your business or your brand, your artistry?
Coming up, at least for myself, is like coming up with different ways of content, because you don't want it to be the same over and over again, because people get bored very easily, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's like after you do like 2 or 3 things, they're like, okay, something new.
Yeah,
please.
we saw that already.
Right, it's like skip, and it's like, okay. I guess
so how do you keep your content like fresh? Because I see your posts, you got your flyers, you're promoting your shows, Speak Free with TC.
Well, it was a lot of work because I get I'm not a graphic artist, but I like making the flyers.
So maybe you got a little knack for it.
Maybe, I don't know. Canva is my best friend.
Yes, your flyers are dope too.
Oh, thank you. So, but yeah, you just have to remember to, like I said, keep it regular. keep it inviting to people. There was something else I was going to say about that, but I forgot. But yeah, definitely just keep it fresh and establish yourself as the expert or, the guru in that area. So people want to keep coming back to see Crystal. They want to keep coming back to see JRose.
Yeah. So. What is one of like the weirdest things that you've seen on social media? 'Cause I know, like, especially as women on social media, I'm sure, I don't know about you guys, I've definitely experienced like unsolicited DMs. I'm not gonna get into what type of DMs they are, but they're I didn't ask for them. So what are some situations that you've had to deal with through social media?
For me, just personally, I keep getting these DMs. Do I want a sugar daddy? I don't know why. And it'll just be a bunch of them that'll come in like back to back. I don't know if it's the same person, but they just keep coming, and I keep saying, declining it. Yeah, so I guess
the sugar daddy DMs.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any of those yet. How about you?
For myself, I've only gotten like random like, oh, like, check out my page. And I'm like, I don't, who are you? Like, get away from me. Like, no. Or random people, like, hitting me up, like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, do I know you?
Yeah, like strangers.
Like, I'm, like, trying to see, like, do I have mutual friends? No.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Bye.
People are so strange. I know for me, I've, because also sometimes I do erotic poetry. Mm-hmm. And I feel like some people kind of take that as an invitation to like be weird in the DMs. And, I've had to like block people immediately and like say no. I feel like that's, I think, the part when people use the social media for evil. Mm-hmm. Right. What advice do you give somebody who is just getting started and like feels a little overwhelmed with social media?
Definitely take it one thing at a time. Because there's always, no matter what you're working on, it's always going to be a lot. There's a lot of parts to it. Just take it one at a time and just be as creative as you want. There's literally no rules. Yeah. So just go for it and one step at a time.
Yeah. How about you?
And do what's comfortable for you.
Yeah.
I have a client right now who's, he's great at what he does, but for Instagram in specific, he's just like, I don't know. And I'm like, you just do what's comfortable, but you do have to, put your links in there, put your whatever, you want people to focus on in the bio, things like that. But you have to get started somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, taking it one, it is a little overwhelming, especially when you go into people that are a little bit older, like, social media is such a like,
they're scared.
Yeah, yeah. Young people, it's like, forget about it.
Just do whatever.
They like posting with their eyes closed. Do you have a lot of clients that sometimes they're like, oh, this is too much for me?
I've run into a few people, whether it's friends that have businesses and they're just like, no, but I keep trying to tell them how it can help them. But, and everybody has their own lane. Some people want to do LinkedIn. Some people want to do Twitter. Some people want to do IG. But I like Instagram because I like pictures. Yeah. And you can write as much content as you want. Yeah. So I think it's like the best of both worlds for me. I don't like Twitter.
Yeah, it gets a little overwhelming keeping track of all these platforms. What's one of your biggest social media successes?
I think for the first time when I decided to start doing my dance videos, and I wasn't sure how it would be received, but it was like a moment of just, you know what, I miss dance. Yeah. And I can't do classes at the moment, so let me just go for it. Yeah. And the fact that people were like, oh, this is great. I didn't, and a lot of my friends from theater, they're like, oh, I didn't know you can dance. I'm like,
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. See, I could do other things. Yeah. And so I was really encouraged by the feedback that I was getting, and then to do it more, it was really good.
Nice. Yeah. How about you? What's one of your biggest successes?
I think I would say when I launched TC, Speak Free with TC. That's the name of my show.
Speak Free with TC.
I haven't said it in so long. Speak Free with TC, the interview series. Yeah. To see, how many people watch, whether it was live or even afterwards. To see the numbers increase. Yeah. I like watching the numbers go up. Yeah. And, people reconnecting with you or new people, watching the interviews. That was good. Yeah.
I feel like, we somehow like we do gauge success based on those numbers. Right. But I always have to like make it clear, like I don't think I'm cooler because I got this amount of likes or this amount of views. For me, I get excited because that's just this amount of people that I was able to engage with. These are like potential viewers for my other future projects, you know, and that's what I get excited about. Yeah, I feel you. You guys want to play a game?
Sure.
All right. It's time for our Off the Top segment where we get to play a random game. Sometimes we get to be creative and sometimes we're just having fun. So let me get my cards. Crystal Rosa. Will you do the honors? One gotta go! Yay! I like this game. All right. Let me get my cards and we will be right back. Ladies, want to know what I love as much as chocolate? Fashion. So of course, I'd end up dressing in some Fashion is My Chocolate styles. Head over to fashionismychocolate.com for collections with unique details, comfortability, and versatility. Use our promo code to be the sweet tooth of fashion no matter what mood you're in. Make sure you enter JRose at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Keep growing. Okay, we're back and we've got some really difficult decisions to make. You ladies ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna start you off a little easy, okay? One gotta go, like never exists ever again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. We gotta get rid of a season.
Winter. I'm not for the cold.
Same. Winter, goodbye. All right. I hope that you're kind of young, so I hope you know these shows. So one gotta go. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, Living Single, or A Different World. Oh, she's gonna get rid of the one she never heard of, which is
Different World.
Ah, my heart.
Sorry, friends.
I know. I know you're not getting rid of A Different World.
I don't know who I want to get rid of. If we get rid of Fresh Prince, then there's no Will Smith.
Womp womp. No entanglements.
Okay. Fresh Prince?
I don't know what I would pick. I'm just gonna close my eyes. No. I'm just gonna say A Living Single. I'm sorry, Queen Latifah, I love you. All right, one gotta go. Wi-Fi, hot showers, cars, or Chick-fil-A. Do they have Chick-fil-A out here?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I guess if we're gonna go on a diet. Chick-fil-A.
Yo, those chicken sandwiches are so good. I would probably get rid of, definitely not Wi-Fi because we need that, and showers. Yeah, we'll go. I'll get rid of Chick-fil-A too. I'm sorry, the sandwiches are good though. All right, what would you get rid of? The ability to write, the ability to memorize, the ability to talk, or having courage?
I say writing because we're getting away from that anyway. We'll do this old type.
True, you can talk to text. So yeah, writing.
Yeah. Damn, I don't even know. I guess for me, I would get rid of like memorizing because I'll just like read shit, like forget it. All right, and one more. One gotta go. Waffles, pancakes, grits, or eggs?
It'll be grits for me.
Same. Not a fan.
Maybe the waffles.
What?
I like all of them, but maybe the waffle.
All right. Sorry, waffles. Waffles and grits gotta go over here. I love this game because it really makes you realize, like, it makes you wonder, like, what do I love more?
Right.
Like, it's hard to pick.
It is hard.
All right. I have one last question for you guys. I ask every guest that comes on the show. I believe that creative people have like superpowers. You know, we can imagine things in our minds and then we create them for people to enjoy. So I want to know, what is your superpower?
I would say my superpower is a connector. I like to connect the dots at whatever it is. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, this person can help you with this. This person can help you with that. This person, you should use them. So yeah,
She's
a
the
connector.
plug.
She's the plug. Right?
Yes, I'm here for that. How about you, Crystal?
I would say to lighten the mood. I'm always laughing at something, so
Yeah.
I'll get like 10 situations. I'm like, I could be chill.
Yeah.
Not as bad as you might think. So
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're like, you're optimism.
yeah.
Optimistic superhero. I like that. You gotta keep positive. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me on set. It was a pleasure meeting you two. Well, seeing you again and meeting you for the first time. Before we say goodbye to the audience, please let them know where to find you, where they can follow you and connect with you. It's all yours.
You go first.
Okay, thanks. So you can follow me. My main thing is Instagram. Sometimes I'm cool with a K, just like my name. You can find me. All my links are basically in there from my website, headshot, bio, all of the good stuff. Find it there through Instagram.
And you can find me on IG at Speak Free Always.
Speak Free Always. And sometimes I'm cool with K. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure that you follow and subscribe to us on the Rose Garden Events on Facebook or YouTube. We are on Instagram at JRose Experience. And you can follow me as your host at My Crumble Thoughts. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Have a great day. Please keep growing.